Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Josie Tong. Let me spotlight. This is Josie Tong. I've lived in Australia for 44 years, originally from the Philippines, and I joined this industry 16 years ago. So I've been with LV for 6 years, and really and truly, I love the science behind the products. And so today, I'm going to talk a little bit about the summaries and how I use them, the studies and all that. But I want to kick off our call today. So maybe let's engage, drop in the chat. What are your wins for the week? Because I know we all have our wins. My win is that my Japanese maples are amazing, but really and truly, let us go to New Zealand. Let me call on Christina. Christina is doing a lot of events in Auckland. I see her doing a lot of events and really promoting health and wellness. So, Christina, you've got some great stories to share with us today.
So things that have happened over the weekend, I've actually been looking after my niece and nephew. They're 6 years old. So had a lot of good times with them. We've been out and about and actually got some sun, so that was great. But did you want me to share about my experience with? Yeah, okay. So as you know, my name's Christina. I'm a kidney transplant recipient. So I had my kidney transplant in July 2019, and I had an autoimmune disease, IgA neuropathy. Unfortunately, I found out about Protandim NRF2 a bit too late. But moving on, about 4 years in after my transplant, I started getting horrific gut issues, very like a sore stomach, terrible bloating, and reflux. So the reflux got so bad that I had to go and have some procedures done. And it was sort of like every time I ate, I was running to the toilet and vomiting. It wasn't nice. It was pretty horrific, to be quite honest. And that was going on for about 6 months. And then I started the collagen came out. So I started on the collagen and probio together. And in 4 months, it's just on 4 months, I noticed huge changes. I was feeling so much better. I wasn't getting the bloating. And I said to my specialist that I wanted to come off the medication that I was on for the reflux because I was getting side effects from that. As you know, we all get different side effects from prescription medications. So I weaned myself off that, and I don't have any reflux at all, which is an absolute game changer. So it's, I'm going out again, I'm doing things. It was stopping me from doing things with my kids, with my friends, and even in like wanting to own a business and get out there and do things for myself. So it's been an absolute game changer for me. And I know everyone goes,
I knew she had a problem with her internet. So, but that was a great story. So, while we just dropped someone in New Zealand, let us I want to hear. Let's see. Phil, you said that you a enrolled a consultant and run a webinar. Maybe you can share. Let us see. So, guys, Phil is running his business in Bali. So we want to hear how he does it and how he's made this happen.
I've got some customers in the UK, so I just got them started back on NRF2 and NRF1, and I've got a consultant in the US as well. So what I do is I just say to reach out to your audience, and we'll run a webinar just for her audience, so they can put their links and stuff on there when they run the webinar. So it's pretty much what I'm doing, all online. I have got legs. It's not just part of me here. So all my stuff's done on Zoom. That's most of my business is there. Very rarely do I actually do live meetings, actually physically in person. So I think the tricky thing for me, what I've done is the mastering how to invite people. If you can't get that right, doesn't matter how much science you know, it means nothing. You've got to learn how to invite, get people in front of you, and that's it. So that's what I'm pretty much mastering. So yeah, that's me.
How many hours a day do you run your business, Phil?
Well, it's a combination of two things. So I sort of still run my own health thing that I'm doing anyway, and I incorporate into it. So I never lead with NRF2, never lead with Pretend. I actually lead with my normal business, and I integrate it into it. So that's the way I like to do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for sharing. All right, so let us go to Rockhampton. Rockhampton. So this lady here, I've heard her story a long time ago, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So I got her in a webinar, a former principal. Let us hear from one of our executives, Miss Jillian Joyce.
Thank you, Josie. Yeah, so Josie's asked me on this evening just to share a little bit of my business story. Yeah, so for me, I was one of those people that really didn't have much of an understanding of network marketing. I was aware of things like Tupperware and Thermomix and Enyo because I had those things in my home, but I thought it was all just party plan stuff. And I'd made the joke with my husband when I was going on maternity leave, oh, I might have to go and do Tupperware so that I've got some pocket money. And he's just like, no, no. And I was joking. I didn't really want to do that. I didn't want to give away my weekends to do something where you got just a little bit of money in return and that was it. So that was my understanding of the business side of things. When Life Vantage was introduced to me, I wasn't looking for a business at all. I was introduced by a girlfriend who knew my family history. In short, I've lost a lot of very near loved ones well before their time, and health is important to me. And when I learned about oxidative stress and what it could do, I knew that I wanted to use it for myself. My excitement for the product had me naturally sharing with people. And of course, they wanted to be able to use this for themselves too. So, this is a really important business strategy. When it comes to what you share, it really doesn't matter. It's how you share it. Your energy is everything, because I knew nothing really. Like when people are like, oh, well, tell me about it. And I'm like, well, I don't know, but it just it just gets to the body and it turns things on. And it was very poor language. Right now I'm probably know too much because I can give a science, presentation on it. But I was just talking about the fact that it was just turn the body back on to work the way it's supposed to. And there's people getting incredible results. And those people wanted to try it. They had some great results. They wanted to share with others. And when it comes to business, I'm not silly. My family grew up with a traditional business, and we worked all day, every day, 364 days of the year. It was open every single day of the week except for Christmas Day. And so I knew that when it came to sort of leveraging your time a little bit, that was favorable. And so I started to understand bits of the business. And when bits of income were coming in, I thought, you know what, this is actually something that I can be doing around my family without sacrificing that time, because I was a brand new mum. I had a 2-year-old and a newborn who was only a couple of weeks old. And because this income was starting to come in, I thought, you know what, maybe I should apply myself a little bit more to this, because I want to extend my maternity leave as long as I possibly can so I can be more present for my children. I didn't want to have to rush back to work. And so I started sharing more. I started learning the skills on the job, earning as I was learning, which is what we can all do. And it just continued to grow. In 2 years, I reached Pro 5, which I know some people have done that so much faster than I have. For others, it takes a little bit longer to reach that position. And then I hit executive consultant. It was October last year. So we're coming up to my 1-year anniversary of executive consultant in a couple of days' time. And so, it was a long gap in between some of those rank advancements. But what I have always done is just applied myself, just shared. My belief with the products has always been there, which is what I have always led with. And, and for me, it's allowed me to just keep extending my leave. So with my maternity leave, you're allowed 7 years leave before you either have to resign from Education Queensland or go back. So I just kept extending my maternity leave, extending year to year, used up all my 7 years. Then I used up all my long service leave, which I had a bit of that in the kitty as well from all my years of working. And once I'd used that up, I was just like, I can't go back. I'm loving being so home and present for my family. The freedom and the flexibility that this business has provided for us has been incredible. I have been able to travel the world. My husband has come with me to places like the Bahamas and Croatia, and then we've been to Park City and Hamilton Island and all these other incredible places, Sydney. all of these things that I've been able to do because of LifeVantage and just sharing something that I'm using for myself anyway, it's been incredible. So yeah, that's sort of been my business journey with LifeVantage. I think it's really powerful to know that you don't have to know everything, but just always have that enthusiasm for what we have, because that's what people will always pick up from mostly.
Wow, I love your story, and it is true. It's energy is everything. I still remember when I first joined LV, I was literally reading the slides. So you don't have to know everything. All right, so thank you for that. Let us go back to Auckland, because I've got Marie, like I've been watching Marie's since I met her in Christchurch, her journey. And it is so good, when we have people that are so passionate about our products. And let's hear from Marie Rowley.
Hi, Josie. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay. My name is Mari, and I live and work on a deer farm in North Canterbury with my husband, Bob. 4 years ago, my daughter, Rachel Dalzell, introduced us to activation in the LifeVantage products. I started with Rhododendron, NRF2 and NRF1, and later added Icy Bright for my eyes. Over time, I noticed incredible changes. My energy improved, my sleep became deeper, and my body just felt more balanced and alive. One of the most surprising moments came about 3 months after starting Icy Bright. I suddenly realised I didn't need my glasses anymore to open the combination locks on the deer road gates. Earlier this year, I decided to visit the optician for a checkup. It had been 6 years since my last one. To my amazement, there was no changes in my prescription and no sign of cataract. The optician simply said, maybe come back in 2 years. This was huge for me. I was born with a lazy eye and have worn glasses since I was very young. To have stable vision at 71 and no medication feels incredible. Today I'm healthy, active and full of energy, whether I'm feeding deer, upkeep on the farm, or spending time with my grandkids. I'm grateful every day for what activation has done for my health and my life. Now I want to share Bob's story. My husband, Bob, is 74 and has had quite a journey. Back in 2008, Bob had a heart attack and several stents put in. Over the years, his health has really declined. He had very little energy and struggled with even simple things. In fact, when our daughter Rachel introduced us to NRF2 activation, Bob was finding it difficult just to walk about 100 metres to feed the chooks. Not long after taking NRF2, the change was noticeable. More energy, better sleep, and a huge improvement in his overall well-being. Then in September last year, Bob had a shoulder replacement, a major surgery on his right shoulder. Recovery was expected to take at least 9 to 12 months. But because he had been taking our collagen beforehand, his recovery has been unbelievable. Now, just a year later, he's back claybird shooting, and we are starting velveting our deer again. Hard physical work that he's now able to do with ease. I'm the gopher, picking up the velvet and helping where I can, but seeing him so strong and capable again is just amazing. Bob still takes collagen, NRF2, and Icy Bright, which he had his optician appointment this year, and to his amazement, his prescription glasses from 2 years ago, are too strong. So he has to have weaker glasses. And he often says he can't believe how well he feels. At 74, to be living pain-free, active, and full of energy has truly been life-changing for both of us. So that's me.
Wow, that is amazing. So Marie, can I ask you, just how long have you been activated? When did you start the products?
4 years ago.
And which products did you start with?
NRF2 and NRF1 and Icy Bright. For me,
So-
Osteobright has been just amazing.
Amazing. Yeah. And what about Bob? Was he taking Protandim as well?
Yes, he started at the same time.
Okay. So how long has he been on did he start taking collagen before his surgery?
Yes, it was hard to keep him on track, but I kept saying he must keep taking it. So at least 6 months beforehand, he kept taking it. And I do. He knows also the fact that the collagen has helped him so much with his recovery.
Wow, you have an amazing story. You don't look 71.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. So good. Doesn't Murray look Mari. Doesn't Mari look amazing? So guys, let's put in the chat because I know so many people are inspired, but let's go back to Christina. So Christina, did you want to finish your story? We want to hear what happened.
Am I here? Can you hear me?
You're here
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, I have no idea what I got up to. Because all of a sudden I looked and I was like, oh, my mouth's not moving. Something's gone wrong. Sorry about all that. Yeah, so anyway, I think I was just at that stage where, I've taken collagen and I take probio and I've added omega into it. I've come off all my medications for the reflux and I haven't had it back. I truly believe the collagen has helped me so much keeping my gut in balance because I'm on some pretty heavy medications for my transplant. So with the mixture of all of them and what they can do, I am guessing to my gut did cause a lot of damage, especially when you think of coming out of theatre and you're on God knows what, like I can't even remember what I was on, but it was a lot of stuff. So yeah, so I'm really grateful for what collagen and probio have done for me, definitely. And I won't stop taking it. There was a month when I couldn't afford it and I went and sold clothes and shoes so that I could get it and wouldn't go without, because there was no way I was going to go without.
That is an incredible story. So incredible, right? So because I know a lot of people, they don't understand how to make their health a priority. So thanks so much, Christina. Can one take NR2 if I had a transplant? Okay, let's if somebody later on has can answer that, that would be really good. So we'll have a look at that. I think let me go through because there's a study here. No, they can't. Okay, so we'll get Gronya later on. So she must have heard that question before. Let's have maybe Gronya. Where are you? Let us spotlight Miss Gronya. So maybe you can share. Why is it that, yeah, where are you? Did you just, oh, Gronya, you can, yep.
Yeah. Oh, no, only that we've always been told that the only thing that people can't do is if they've had a transplant because they're taking medications that Protandim would react with and things like that, and that Protandim wouldn't be good for them to take. So that was all really, I've always just been told. I can't remember the name of, what is the name, Una? You would know, being a nurse. But yeah,
tacrolimus. So if you're on tacrolimus, it's the ashwagandha that interacts with the medication of tacrolimus.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Christina. Una, did you want to say something?
No. I think that it was just a generalized statement that that LV had always made about anybody with transplant or anything like that, just to protect them, basically. So, as obviously Christina has done her research with her doctors anyway. So, yeah, and anybody having chemo or radiation, that there were the two things that we were always told. But again, it's up to the individual, I'm assuming, to decide what they want to do in conjunction with their specialists.
Okay. Wow, there you go. So we have great information from our team today. Thank you so much for the clarification. So I want to share what I did when I first started with LV. And so when we were, I can still remember in our lounge room, we were literally just reading the slides and everything. And as we went along month after month after month, we learned about the study. And this particular PDF has made me tons of money simply because I taught my team. We learned how to use it and how to leverage from the studies. Because, you know, I've been in this industry for quite a long time, and there's really truly no other products that I know of that have got this number of studies, probably none in the world, right? And so we've been able to attract a lot of doctors, particularly in the Philippines, simply by using this. And so what I used to do is I get them on a Zoom, share about the products and everything, and I'd say, Doc, you know, I know that you probably are interested in looking at what is it that the outside community, you know, what is it that they're doing, the other scientists, medical researchers. And so we have these studies published in PubMed, but I want to show you some of the studies of this peer review, okay? And so I go through maybe 3, and we even use it, and I'll show you which one that I use when I do my presentation. So obviously here, this is number 1, is so good because, you know, when you share with them, you say that this product in our Protandim NR2 has been proven, right? We say that it's been proven to reduce oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days and 70% in 120 days. Some people will look for the validation. So make sure that you know where to validate that information, which is really here. And thank goodness, because, you know, when you go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to explain to you in a simple terms how to explain this, it's like, wow, this is unbelievable. So ChatGPT, really, like, for example, it says, and you can explain it when you're talking about SOD, catalase, and glutathione. And I remember when we first started, we used to talk about SOD, as catalase, all that. And ChatGPT says SOD starts the cleanup. So it's like a firefighter. It comes to the scene, prevents the fire damage, which is oxidative stress from spreading. Catalase comes, does the heavy middle step, and glutathione comes and finishes it. And so just imagine that one pill can neutralize 1 million free radicals per second, every second, right? So this here is gold, really and truly. The second one that we talk about is here, University of Colorado, about glutathione. We all know what glutathione is and how important it is and why people are injecting it, okay? It is the master antioxidant. And I don't have to go through it because you've heard this before. For those of you who are new, grab this PDF because it's really going to be very useful. If you want to read the studies, I have not read all the studies, to be honest, because it's like, oh my gosh, this is so complicated. But this alone, if I'm talking to someone, they're talking about glutathione, and I'd say, oh, let me just tell you, here I used to print this, and I got people in the Philippines to print this, so they can just show. And I've got this on my iPad, I've got it on my phone. I just show it to them. I literally read it to them, and I'd say, if you want the study, which we have a link to the study, I'll send it to them. Okay, but this is the one that I talk about when I'm doing my presentation. Yeah, I talk about this one because it's so profound, this Louisiana State University. And in fact, when I first heard this from Tara Wilson, it's like, what? So I look for it and I go, wow, this is incredible. And so during my presentations, you know, and this is if I'm talking in depth about the products, and particularly if I was having a face-to-face, right? And I'd say to them about this cancer study, which was done on mice. So can you imagine, this is incredible. No Protandim and with Protandim. Half without Protandim, all developed cancer. Everybody that weren't given Protandim, all developed cancer. And half that received Protandim, 33% developed 0 cancer. The remaining mice developed 40% less aggressive cancer. This is what, and so this one here, I literally memorized the figures and everything like that. And I share that. And so I know that a lot of people have been converted because I do mention about the studies. And I think it's important for us to know that we can use this as tools, okay? This is as tools. The other one that I use is about this one here. what is the number one killer in the world today is heart disease. So I tell them that, okay? And a lot of people, because of lifestyle, everything like that, and also your genes. And then I talk about the Ohio State University, the coronary bypass. So just imagine this. So apparently what they did during this study is that they soak the blood vessels in Protandim. Okay, and what they found is after heart surgeries, like a bypass, the blood vessels can sometimes start to reblock. Because, you know, when they start to block, that's when it causes stroke. And so they can start to reblock because the cells lining the blood vessels can grow so much. That's what they call hyperplasia. And I know that Una, it's like overgrowth. So this Protandim study shows that it helps to stop this overgrowth of cells, which keeps the vessels lining healthy. Incredible, right? And so when the human vein samples were treated with Protandim, the amount of cell growth was similar to that of a fresh, healthy veins, meaning Protandim helped prevent the problem from happening in the first place. And that's why we have people on Protandim and RF2, whether they have heart disease or not. It's just an incredible product. So this is what I'd like you to do, is just to go through here, because there could be 1 or 2 studies that you can show people. I mean, this tool is just gold. Like I said, I've had so many people join my team simply because I've gone through this, and this is just not a so-so document. This is validated, and they can find it on PubMed. Who is excited with the tool that we have? Can you drop in the chat who here has used yeah, okay, so I'll add that one. Who here has used the summaries? Who here has used the studies in the past? I'm sure you do, right? You have, yeah, exactly. So I think if we go back and revisit the tools that we have incredible tools. So I'm so glad that we have a community of people that love our products, that promote our products. And from the stories that you heard from Mari, you heard from Christina, you've heard from Jill and also Phil. We have an incredible opportunity, incredible products that we can share. And so make sure that you do invite people at our next huddle, because we do this every Monday. And so we want to have 100 people by the end of next year, 100, 200 people. Can you imagine that, right? If we had 1 + 1 person next month, et cetera, et cetera. So before we close, does anyone want to add anything or want to comment or anything like that?
Hey, Josie,
Yes, Bill.
if you look at the Mexico formula for LifeVantage, it doesn't contain ashwagandha. It's not a tablet, it's a capsule. So
Oh,
maybe
wow.
somebody wants to go, yeah, because I've had a client in Mexico, and she says she couldn't snap it in half. I said, why not? It's a capsule. So there really is a
Really?
difference. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. And it doesn't have ashwagandha.
Nah.
The
Doesn't.
other formula has black pepper, which works similarly to ashwagandha. So
Yeah.
there's a couple of countries that has that formulation because they don't allow ashwagandha in those markets.
Yeah.
I wonder why they have it in capsules, not tablets.
Don't know that one.
Hmm. Well, thank you so much. So next week, we're going to invite Phil to teach us how to build online and how he does all those invites. I don't know who is hosting next week, but guys, we can invite Phil to do the last bit training next week. So glad that you're all here today. I will see you in a month, because I'm off to the Philippines and I will be incognito for the time that I'm there. But I'm so glad we're a family. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here.